What is up, dudes? It is TheeRealDuke here, hanging out between my carrot farm and my potato farm, my little castle town, on the InfiniteHeights Minecraft server. Gonna do another Let's Build today. Today, we're actually gonna take a look, and they're already built when I'm filming this, so you're gonna have to bear with me. But today, you saw it there for a second. Today, we're going to be doing two little bridge builds in this Let's Build. And I'm going to take you to them now. The first one is right behind me. Kind of just a tiny little bridge. Covers a small pond outside a couple farms here. See the sheep farms there. Keep panning over. You can see not a big deal. Just kind of a nice little detail for the main path here. Walk over it. It's nice. You can jump in the water if you want. So we'll go through how this happened, and then we'll head back onto the main path in the outer castle town. You see the landscape comes up here, and there's the bridge that we had to build to cross over the main east road that we have here on the server, which is there. That way is actually east, or is this the west road? It runs east-west. You know what I mean. So if I fly around, you can kind of see what landscape we were dealing with here. The main road cuts straight through the town. And then as we go under it here, you can kind of get a shot of the, check out the architecture underneath. So without further ado, let's build. So here you can see the exposed walls that go along the path that we're building the bridge over. And there's a weird kind of lag thing happening here. It smooths out in a second, but basically what I'm doing is trying to figure out how the edges and the underside of the bridge are going to address the walls that they're actually connected to. Good guy Ninja Nacho stops in for a visit while I'm building. So I'm drawing on some of the already established building motifs that I have in the castle and other areas around the grounds, and I need to make the bridge out of stone brick to fit in with that, but I don't want to make it too heavy, so that's why I kind of use the steps for the underside, and we'll get a better shot of the underside in a second. There you go. Just kind of figuring out the underside. Challenging part about making a good looking bridge, even though this is a smaller version of a bridge, is that you really do experience the bridge in 3 dimensions, and it's important. I'm throwing in some lighting here. It's important to make sure that the bridge actually addresses everything that's around it, the pathways that it connects to, the expanse that it's actually crossing, and you know what it's like to actually be on the bridge. So filling in the pathways, lining it up, connecting it well, and now it's time to add the light for the middle. So when I go to the underside of the light, to the underside of the bridge rather, I need to power the glowstone lamp, and I also need to make sure that it's not bulky. So this was it turns out this is a little bit too bulky. I tried to hide it as best I could. Some fine tuning, kind of hide it back in there, snug it up a little bit, and it looks pretty good. So here's a smaller bridge. It's just going over the pond. I spent a lot of time building this bridge, just trying to get that arc correct. I needed the bridge to be a little bit thin. If it was a big bulky bridge like the one that I just built, it would look out of place. The scale would be totally off, and so that took a second to get correct. And you see me here kind of buzzing around, undoing a lot, and then redoing it. It wasn't necessarily frustrating, but it was important to get it right, so I spent as much time as I needed to. I used some more stone slabs here to kind of tie it in again with the building theme. Throwing the lights around, and the light over to the left needed to be kind of blended in with the surrounding soil, just with the grass there. So we made that happen. Adding the lamps, adding some decoration around the lamps to kind of play with how they actually fit into the path. Make them look more intentional, make them look like the path and the bridge were built at the same time, built together to work together. And here we are, guys, at the finished medium-sized bridge. We're gonna have a larger bridge. Let's build coming soon. I don't really want to call this one the big bridge, though it is larger than the other one we built, obviously. Just want to talk to you guys real quick about a couple of points that I think make these bridges work, and I think they're good tips, again, to carry with you through the rest of the stuff that you're building. So a couple of concerns we have when we're building the bridge. Again, we're going to be going and checking out all sides of the bridge. We're going to check the bottom, the top, and the sides, and those are going to be visible to everybody that walks through the area. So we need to keep that in mind. There's no room for shoddy work or big bulky contraptions underneath or anything like that. Keep it simple, keep it tight, right? We need the lighting because it needs to function. Can't be dark here. We're going to get mobs spawning at night, obviously, if it's too dark, so we have the lights built in. We also need the bridge to be visible. We need to be able to pick it out and say, hey, that's a bridge, but by the same token, we don't want to make it so huge and ornate that it steals thunder from some of the other parts of the build that we're working on, like the, obviously we have the castle gate here. We have houses around the village, so we need it to blend in to a certain extent and stick out just enough for people to identify what we need to be doing with it. It's a bridge, so what we need to be doing is walking across it, obviously. It's actually a harder balance to strike than I think a lot of people might anticipate. So I think better builds have that balance sorted out pretty well. And then as we head back down the path here, past the carrot farm, you see here in front of on the front of the potato farmhouse, I had to do some retooling a little bit with the porch, where the doorway actually leads to the path that leads to the main path that the bridge is connected to. I had to actually build out this little bridge, little porch that kind of turns the walkway down to the larger main walkway here. And you can see this bridge and the other bridge, actually they share similar styles. They also share the same kind of visual style that the rest of the castle shares. So they look like they fit, but they're not so large and bulky that they kind of dominate the landscape. But if you stop and take a closer look, I think they're a little bit more interesting than just the average plank bridge that we might have built here, or just a flat stone bridge. Again, we can see the lighting here spaced out well, so we don't have mobs spawning, don't have to worry too much about them. We use a lot of half slabs and stairs too, so that'll limit the active mob spawning surfaces. Just a couple things to keep in mind, right? We need it to work as a bridge, and we need it to work also when we're playing the rest of the game. It's part of the game. We can't make a bridge that looks so beautiful but then doesn't work, because then it's not useful. That kind of defeats the purpose. We need something that looks good that we can also use. So that is it for this episode. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I'd love to see some video responses. Show me some awesome epic bridges, or show me some really subdued bridges that just kind of fade away into the landscape. Love to see them. You can actually come check this build out and walk around it on the InfiniteHeights Minecraft server. The link is in the description. And as always, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, dudes. TheeRealDuke, I'm out.